Hello everyone and welcome to the third video on my vlog of Young Justice. So, episode 17. Okay, now the stuff with the therapy, like them... Okay, can I just fix the camera? Okay, so the stuff with the... Okay, pretty much the characters are put into therapy after what happened in the last episode, and Black Canary is being their counselor. And honestly, the stuff in the therapy is really good and compelling in my opinion, especially with Robin and Megan. Because, like, with Robin, he says that he originally wanted to be Batman one day, but after all this, like, he still wants to be a superhero, but he doesn't want to take the mantle of Batman, knowing what Batman did to him in order to prepare him for any situation. Because, yeah, Bruce, I'm sorry. Making them believe their friends got brutally murdered is gonna traumatize them. And especially with Megan, with her, she feels like she's responsible, like how if they weren't able to, stop it, she could have accidentally made them all be in a coma for the rest of their lives. This is really good and deep stuff. Too bad Superboy's plot takes over as he meets these new gods and they're trying to find the mother box. Or something like that. I don't know. I didn't really care about the B plot. The only thing interesting was that there was a character that looked like Black Widow. That's about it. Because I understand this is Superboy's way of grieving, but compared to the stuff in the other plot with the gang going to therapy, it's not as interesting in my eyes. The only thing cool was that we finally get to see a mother box. So, yeah. That was the episode, and it was okay. I felt really disappointed, especially considering how the last episode ended in such a dark way that made me go, oh, how are they going to follow up on this? Too bad we only get to see it in small doses. But anywho, I'm going to go watch the next episode. See you all then. So I just watched episode 18 of Young Justice, and I thought it was pretty good. It's a Halloween episode where Wally, Martian, and Connor go to a Halloween party where someone's pulling a prank that, oh, Martians exist, but they pull a prank on him using, having McGann, be Martian from Looney Tunes, which I thought was actually kind of clever. And with the A plot, it's about Artemis and Zatanna finding this guy who stole an artifact from a museum, and I find it funny that I watched this episode on the day of Moon Knight's premiere, since that show has the guy work in a museum. So, yeah. Anywho, I thought the episode was pretty entertaining. The stuff with Miss Martian and Wally and Connor I thought was pretty fun. But the stuff with Zatanna and Artemis was pretty engaging. I also thought it was kind of messed up at the end, where even though they were able to beat the bad guy, it turns out that in order to, like, wield the sword, you have to be, like, a pure heart or pure darkness. Think of it like Kingdom Hearts, where in order to be one of the princesses of light, you have to be pure-hearted and stuff. Think of it like that. And it reveals that he became pure darkness because he murdered his little sister. That is just... damn. I was genuinely shocked by that. Like, no joke. I was like, damn, they're A-okay with killing off a little kid in this show. Well, time to worry about who's next, but other than that, not much to say. I just thought it was a pretty fun episode, and even though it was filler, outside of, was one small thing with Robin, Aqualad, and, Roy talking with some of the members of the League about, who's the mole. It's mostly just there for fun. I thought it was a pretty enjoyable episode, so on to episode 19. So I just finished episode 19, 20, and 21, so let's talk about them, starting up with episode 19. In this episode, that annoying brat known as Calidor, however you pronounce his name, comes back, and he has this plan where he creates two worlds. One is where all the grown-ups get, disappear, and in the other, all the kids disappear. And I thought the way they handled this concept was pretty cool. I especially liked how, you know how earlier, like, in my previous video, I mentioned I'm really excited for an episode where they find out that, Billy is Shazam? Well, that Shazam's a little kid. I was happy that they finally did that in this episode, and I thought it was a really funny exchange of how Billy has to prove he's Shazam by, talking about the nacho cheese stuff that Wally wanted. But yeah, I thought it was a really nice way they were able to do a back and forth by having Billy go in and out of being Shazam. And yes, I'm still calling him Shazam, not Captain Marvel. It'll just get confusing, okay? Since Marvel has their own Captain Marvel. But anyway, I thought the episode was also pretty good because at first, when they showed the parent universe where all the kids who are below the age of 18 disappear, I thought, wait, is this like a time loop thing or something? But no, it just in the parents' world, all the kids disappear. And yeah, I also liked how at the end, in order to defeat him, Zatanna put on the Dr. Fate helmet and would have been Dr. Fate's new host for all of eternity if it wasn't for her father taking the reins and deciding, you know what, I'm just gonna be Dr. Fate so that way my daughter can have a normal life. Though if you think about it, couldn't you just make a deal with Dr. Fate saying, hey, on weekdays, you take over the body, but on weekends, can I spend time with my daughter or something like that? And it just occurred to me that the guy's legal name is Zatara. What is he, Mario?
It's Mario, and Luigi Mario.
But still, I thought the ending was still pretty sad as Zatanna has to say goodbye to her dad. But yeah, I thought the episode was overall a pretty good one, and I think it's so far better than the last two we got. But yeah, not much to say other than the fact I thought the episode was just plain fun to watch, if a bit sad at the end. So episode 20, now this is my personal favorite episode of the season. Oh yeah, also we find out in the last episode, Kent Nelson died. So rip the G. Anywho, with this episode, it's about Wally delivering a heart to a princess in order to make sure she doesn't die. So yeah, no pressure, Wally, no pressure. And also, it's his 16th birthday, so, it'd be really messed up if you had his 16th birthday be remembered for him letting the princess of a nation die. So, yeah. But on his way there, pretty much... Okay, so this is kind of a weird thing, but has anyone seen that Green Arrow animated short that came out like 10 years ago? I watched that episode, that short 2 weeks before I watched this episode, and the plot is very similar in some ways because pretty much one of the members of the Injustice League, Vertigo, is the uncle of the princess and is trying to kill her so that way he becomes king of whatever they rule. And it's kind of like the same thing in that short film where about Green Arrow protecting the princess, the same princess who was also coincidentally voiced by the same person. Same with Vertigo. But anywho, that's all I thought of during this episode mostly. And I still thought it was a really solid episode because, again, like, pretty much it's about Wally trying to save this girl from dying, but also the fact that he can't run as fast as he would usually do it, because if he did, the heart might accidentally explode. And there are plenty of stuff stopping him in the way, like there's a criminal... Well, there's like actually a supervillain that takes up 15 minutes of his time. So he's just like, oh, shoot. And he's barely able to save the girl. Well, he does save the girl the last second. And the way they reveal that she's actually alive reminded me of this scene from Monsters, Inc. Like, the way it was done just reminded me of Monsters, Inc.
Simulation terminated. Simulation terminated.
Well, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I spotted several big mistakes.
But how did...
You know what? Let's watch my favorite part again, shall we?
I know that's probably not how it was intended to be, but it just reminded me of Monsters, Inc. But still, I think this episode... Okay, I am going back and forth on what is my favorite episode so far in the show, but I would definitely say that this is very high up there for me. Because again, Wally West is so far my favorite character in the show, and I think this episode was really solid for his development. And I will say this right now, the previous episode did do a lot for Zatanna's growth as well, but still, this, I just felt it was a lot better with Wally feeling like, oh man, did I fail? But no, actually, the bad guys are just lying to me, so yeah, I was able to save the princess. But still, I thought it was a solid episode. And I especially liked how Wally was all disappointed, oh, I don't get to go on the team up with the Justice League and the Young Justice, but I got to save an entire country, so screw it. Anywho, time for the final episode. This episode is about Megan, and we find out her entire thing, like why she does the whole "Hello, Megan," and why she decided that for her human appearance she would do that, because apparently she is doing it based off of a TV show from the 80s called Hello Megan, and I'll admit it is kind of weird, but I will say, pretty much she meets the parent, no, she meets the star of that show and her child as they're going on a mission to stop Queen Bee and Simon from taking over the country. And the way it was done, it was, well, kind of awkward, since apparently, not only did she base her appearance and her name off of that, well, to be fair, McGann does sound a lot like Megan, so I can let that one slide. But turns out the reason why she chose Connor to be Superboy's legal name is because on the TV show, the love interest is named Connor and looks almost identical to him. Yeah, that's totally not awkward. Like, okay, I will admit I was named after a James Bond actor, Sean Connery, but at the very least, I don't look identical to him. So it doesn't feel that awkward. Here, if I was Connor, I'd be a little bit weirded out by that. But even so, and also, before you ask, the kid, Garfield, that's Beast Boy. It's going to be future Beast Boy because McGann did a blood transplant and gave him some of his blood. So that's going to be the explanation for how he's able to change into animals and why he's green now. But anywho, they also delved a little bit into McGann's psychologically in this episode, with how she actually looks like a praying mantis and how she's scared of how they'll take it. I'll admit, the opening of the episode I thought was funny, where she transforms into Black Canary and spars with Superboy, and she makes it look like Canary kissed the student. So yeah, totally not awkward, but hey, McGann thought it was a prank, and Superboy was in on it, so I guess he was okay with it. But still kind of awkward. But yeah, I thought the episode overall, I thought was really good, especially delving into McGann's psychologically. And also at the end of the episode, it's revealed that Queen Bee knows her secret and is all like, so you do what I say, and I won't spill the beans to your team, and you'll be able to stay on Earth. So yeah, the episode I thought was pretty solid. I don't know how I would rank these. I would say probably my favorite episode out of these 5 is either 19 or 18, then 21, then probably episode, okay, I would rank them episode 19 or 18, either way. Both of them were about equal for me. Then 21. Then I would say, wait, no, actually, no, it'd be 19 or 20, then 21, 18, then 17. So yeah, that's how I ranked them. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys in the final video of Season 1, at least. At the very least, we'll be done with Season 1 in the next video. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you all later. Bye.